guys, Trevin with Gearshift Garage here, and I'm sitting inside of a 1972 Gran Torino. Now, this car belonged to Jeffrey and Christian of JR Garage. We're babysitting it for them. Belonged to their Uncle Jim. They drove it from Billings, Montana up to here, and we've just been babysitting it here in the shop. So I thought this would be a great car to tell the Cannonball story today. We'll jump right in. I was fortunate enough to be invited to Cannonball with Ed Bolian and John Ficarra, Ficarra Classic and Ed Bolian of VinWiki. And then through Sway, we were invited to Cannonball across the United States in the U.S. Express. And if you know anything about the U.S. Express, it's a Cannonball from New York to L.A. It has to be a 1980 or older vehicle. In this particular case, we took a 76 Rolls Royce as to kind of pay homage to the car from the original Cannonball movie. Ed scoured the world for the cheapest Rolls Royce he could find. We found one. Ed did some work to it, and we cannonballed it. I tell you, being amongst the two legends who are Ed Bolian and John Ficarra was pretty amazing. This was my very first Cannonball, so I kind of got a crash course from the legends themselves on kind of how this works and what it was about. We set off from Red Ball Garage in New York. On this Cannonball, you could choose between 6 p.m. and I think 2 a.m., something like that. And so we decided to go a little bit earlier. I think we ended up leaving at about 7 p.m. And then we just set sail and we just drove all the way to Portofino in California. Since there were three of us, where there was a driver, the passenger navigated, and then the third person slept in the back seat. Now, this Rolls Royce was right-hand drive, so that took a minute or two to get used to. Ed had drove it from Atlanta to New York, so he was already kind of used to being on that side of, you know, you're trying to go fast, and it was kind of a shock at first, but it didn't take long at all to get used to it. And away we went. So yeah, we didn't pack any extra fuel or anything like that. We just, every time we stopped for fuel, we just made sure we were as efficient as possible. And the driver hopped in the back for sleep. The passenger moved to the driver's side. And the person that was sleeping moved to the passenger side. And we just kind of rotated like that. We did do some maintenance checks. I think we only had 2 loose lug nuts to the whole thing that needed tightened. Our center cap and our front driver's side wheel ended up coming loose or apart and was rattling around in the hubcap. So that needed to be repaired. We burnt an ungodly amount of oil and hydraulic fluid and everything else. I like 6 liters of hydraulic fluid that we ended up going through, a ton of oil. So that was always interesting, keeping those fluids topped off. But other than that, the car ran like a champ. We did get some windy territory that, you know, so hard that the lights are, the door light kept coming on. But other than that, like I said, being in the presence of a couple of legends was just was fun, and I'm super fortunate to be able to do it. Those guys really kind of coached me through, you know, staying consistent, and you know, we just stay consistent and efficient. And it wasn't about top speed; it was just about that average moving time. And we ended up finishing in 36 hours 10 minutes, and it was awesome. They timed it out, so I got to do the last drive into Portofino, and everyone at the finish line, my wife flew in and met us, and you know, it was pretty amazing. You're sleep deprived, you're tired, your adrenaline's pumping, and then to be able to see my wife there and was pretty awesome. When we originally set sail and left New York, dressed as Chics, so that was pretty funny. You know, again, paying homage to the original Cannonball. And then when we drove in the final drive, we got dressed up. So when we came out, we were the Chics from Cannonball. And it was awesome. You know, this is something that's been on my bucket list for forever. And we ran radar and a GPS. We used Waze. And then we had a couple gauges installed in the car so we could monitor engine temperature and pressure and things like that. And other than that, it was a pretty uneventful drive. Think in your head that, you know, oh, this is easy. I can stay up, you know, for 36 hours. Problem. But it really is taxing. And it's something that you don't realize it till you experience it. It's not about staying awake. It's staying alert enough to drive and be vigilant and offensively drive through traffic and stay moving quickly. And so it really kind of painted a picture for the guys that are setting records like Arnie and Ed and John Ficarra on when they're moving really fast. That's an actual concern, is staying awake and alert and being alert enough to handle the speeds that they were driving. And fortunately enough, this car didn't go super fast. It was a, you know, Rolls Royce. So, it was even though the car wasn't moving fast, you know, it's a big old boat. So you are being very offensive about your driving and defensive driving. And so you have to be alert. And I used to teach Smith system driving when I worked for BNSF, and, staying awake, using all the techniques, keeping your eyes high, line of sight high, aim high in steering. It's one of the Smith system driving rules. Leave yourself an out, and those types of really did apply here. And it's funny because these are defensive driving courses that are applying and setting a record, or a record attempt, or a rally, or whatever you want to go, or a cannonball, right? So it was super interesting to be able to apply those things in this. Got to Portofino. It's tradition, I guess. So Denny's. So we went to local Denny's and had breakfast, dinner, lunch, something like that. And then everyone else had already kind of come in and are trickling in, and so you kind of wait around the finish line and cheer everyone on as they come in. And the community is just absolutely amazing. I love everyone that was a part of it. These guys are great. If you had a breakdown, they are helping problem solve. We were helping problem solve and hopping on the phone. And I'm going to continue to participate with these guys if they'll have me. I'd love to do some more of these. I think they're awesome. And then if you guys have any questions about what it's like to cannonball or be in the presence of the two cannonball legends, comment on this video, and then I'll make some shorts and answer them. Anyhow, that's my cannonball story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and go check out the merch on gearshiftgarage.us on the online store. I'm doing another T-shirt Tuesday drop, so also comment on any T-shirt suggestions that you have, and we'll pick whoever has the most likes, and we'll do another T-shirt Tuesday drop. The McLaren Senna did really well. I'm super excited that one went up, and you guys all liked it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.